Is that better?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yay! We got this. So sorry.
that's
No, that's
okay.
okay.
We literally had a body corporate meeting and I was on Zoom. I'm like, no, 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 don't play with me right now. I know this is working. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi, come. You want to say hello? He's.
Aww.
You
So
can say hello.
cute.
This is for your barking cat. Cheeky monkey. Thank you
So
so much for
adorable.
having me on.
That's
Our
okay.
pleasure.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much for
coming
being
on.
here.
Oh, my pleasure. Hopefully, I'm as entertaining as the previous guests you guys have had on.
Yeah, of course. How's your day been?
Busy. I had some last minute deadlines. How about you guys?
Good. We worked this morning, so we're glad this our weekend kind of starts Tuesday, Wednesday. So we're glad to be over for the week.
I
Yeah,
caught up on Charlie's podcast a bit, and I saw that you guys work Thursday to Sunday. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
nice, different type of weekend.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's good
It's
though.
very fascinating. We've kind of like lost the I haven't not worked like a Saturday, Sunday since I don't know, I can't remember since I was in like in high school.
Yeah. But I think it's good. It's kind of like it's well like here it's kind of just always busy, but like back on where we used to live in like in Gold Coast, New South Wales, when you have like during the week off, it's like super quiet. So it was always nice. You didn't kind of have to deal with it being busy and that. And then like it we get paid more on Saturday, Sunday. So it's just like we might as well then deal with the busyness.
That was the perks of working retail for so long, let me tell you, like
Yeah,
the casual rates.
yeah. Gotta get the most out of it.
Gotta make your money work for you, like, right?
We've just been frantically. We left all our planning for our trip really, really last minute because
Yeah.
we were like, oh, we can make like content. We're gonna do like a 7 day lead up thing, and we've just got the whole next week's gonna be so jam packed.
Oh my goodness,
So
where are you guys
funny.
off to again?
Japan, South Korea. We originally were gonna go to Vietnam, but now we're deciding maybe Shanghai. We're like confused. It's like a little middle part where it's like before we go to Bali, we're just kind of like,
Yeah,
where
we're
do we
like a
want to
week.
like pit stop for like 5 to 6, 7 days?
Pack me in your suitcase.
Yeah.
Any holiday at this point in time sounds amazing.
Hmm.
Have you been to any of those countries?
I've been to Bali. You know, one of our best friends have actually gone to Japan and they said it was phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
and another friend went like she's a crazy, crazy snowboarder and just said the mountains, everything is just insane. And the culture and the people are so beautiful. I mean, anyway, honestly, right now I need a holiday. Bali's looking really good at the beach with a cocktail.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're excited for. We haven't really, because we went to Japan last year for like a month, and that was really enjoyable. But it's funny being in Melbourne. There's like not really any kind of, I guess, beaches or anything that's worth going to. It's like an hour, 2 hours away, and like with working and schedule, it's really hard. So we're kind of excited to kind of feel that, I guess, beachy vibe again. Because yeah, where we were living, it was like beaches everywhere. It was like every
Yeah.
5 minutes you go somewhere, there's a beach, there's a beach, there's a beach. So.
Not
We
in
kind of miss
Melbourne,
it.
not in Victoria. You could drive 2 hours and still see dirt road. But like in Europe, you know, you're in Paris an
Oh
hour, you're
yeah.
in Italy, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, we're planning our Europe trip like a year or two down the road, which I'm
Yeah,
very excited for.
Have you ever been to Europe before?
No,
nah.
It's the best. I'm like dying to go back.
yeah.
How long were you there for?
2 months or just shy of 2 months.
Yeah, that's a good amount.
Yeah. Well, probably it's like a decade ago now. Like I'm really showing my age, but like it was the best. And I did it by myself, met friends
Oh
and everything. Like
wow.
not
I
brave
respect
enough
that.
now, but back then I was a lot more bold.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's a lifetime experience. Like if you have any part of Europe, it's just so different. There's so much heritage, so much culture, and the people are really friendly. I don't
Mm,
know. I don't know if Paris is on your.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I personally loved it. People were so friendly, but I know so many people say they're like Paris. It's like rude
Yeah.
or something. It's not. Honestly, if you just like are polite to them, they are so polite to you, and
Yeah.
like it's incredible. The experience is incredible.
Yeah. You hear like major mixed reviews about Paris and
But
France.
yeah, it's almost like anywhere kind of though. I think it
Yeah.
really just depends on who you talk to at the end of the day, which is funny. But yeah, because we actually want to live in Europe for a little bit. that's like the I guess like the big plans to like try and like we found this thing and it's like pet sitting. You like go live and pet sit people's
Oh,
dogs and you can jump through like different people's houses and yeah, it's like apparently you just some people it's how they kind of travel Europe. It's like you're saving accommodation, you're just kind of paying for food and I guess plane tickets or train tickets, whatever it may be. So
that is whoever invented that, like the next Airbnb for pet, like looking at like babysitting or whatever. That is
Yeah,
fantastic. Like,
yeah,
here's an idea of trying to bring that to Australia. There's like another venture, right?
yeah. It's such a good idea, especially because like we're probably not going to stay put for quite a while, so we don't want to like take on board getting a pet yet.
mm,
But we both love
love animals.
animals, so it's going to be so nice to be able to like travel and spend time around
Yeah.
animals.
It's like the
If you ever,
ultimate sorry, you
oh,
go.
sorry, no. I was just gonna say, if you ever get like pet lonely, Teddy's friendly, come have a little play, like a little pet. He would love
So
it.
adorable. It's funny, we surprisingly actually we work in like Brunswick and there's actually quite a lot of dogs that come through, like obviously people coming to do their shopping and that, and they just like leave their dogs out the front. So if like we're like going on our tea break or whatever, we always see like just heaps of different dogs. And the same with funnily enough the Coles that we go to,
Yeah,
it must be just like super dog friendly. Which is interesting because it's apartment buildings. It's
yeah.
like the Coles is like on top of all these apartments, and I guess I don't know. You wouldn't
It's always a
necessarily
nice
think that
surprise. Every
yeah, there'd
time
be
we go
heaps of
shopping,
dogs.
there's a different dog out the front. We get so excited.
That would make me so happy. That would be like a dream come true just to be surrounded by puppies because they're just
Right?
like so friendly, right? Not that we don't love people, but like pets are just
They're just
on
different.
another level.
Yeah. I remember I like applied to like it was so long ago now. I applied. I unfortunately didn't get the job, but I like applied for you like work at a kennel and your job was just literally to like supervise all the like the dogs that the place is looking after. Yeah, very sad that I didn't get the job,
That would have
but
been nice.
yeah.
Maybe it wasn't meant to be because you're traveling, but you never know. You
Yeah,
never know
that's
where the
exactly
future
right.
holds.
It
Universe is
worked out
mysterious.
in my favor.
I've always my auntie, she was like found like this random YouTube video and she was like showing it to me. Such a cool business. This guy, he like I think how it started, he like rescued a dog and then he was kind of like helping it I guess like mend it was like injured and then he realized like he I guess like fell in love with it and then he started rescuing more dogs and then all of a sudden he like would take them on adventures and he'd start filming them then he brought a bus so he has this bus and he's got like 30 dogs and then he turned it into like a daycare like
Oh, I've seen this on YouTube,
yeah
and they're like
yeah
they're
yeah
jumping in the pool and stuff. Yeah. Oh my, and then like the kids or grandkids or whoever else come around, right, and help
yeah
them.
yeah such
Yeah.
so cute and like just such a smart idea like just be so fun instead of like I guess like you're just gonna spend time with dogs and just like heal them all. Because apparently he didn't want to end up having so many, and then it just kind of ended up happening. And now he is like I think at times they get up to like 80 dogs. They've got like this massive I guess acreage,
Mm.
but he's ended up rescuing and keeping 30 of his own. Which is like so
Wow.
I trying to imagine it and picturing it would be like really full on, but it'd be just really cool.
Yeah, I've seen like a similar thing. I think it's somewhere in America. The neighborhood has like a local bus that comes, it drives around and it picks up all the dogs and it like just takes them for the day. And they're all like friends with each other. And then the bus comes back and drops all the dogs off at their house.
So cute.
Oh my God, I love that. When I win the lotto, I think that's my next
Yeah, literally.
next business venture. What do you reckon, huh?
Have some friends over for Teddy.
Yeah, what do you reckon? More puppy? No, he's like, no.
I want all the attention.
You're so cheeky. He's literally curled up on my lap, so I'm so sorry if I occasionally look
That's
down
okay.
and
Okay.
check in with him.
Special cameo.
Yeah, he's a show dog. He's made his own little guest appearances on a few ads.
Oh, that's so cool. How did that kind of come about?
I don't know, just like I reached out. I guess with UGC, right? You don't have to niche down.
Yeah.
And I was like, Teddy, the moment I got him, I was like, take a picture, and he would like pose. I was like, oh, you're cute. Like, let's see if we can do some things together. And before you know it, Bob's your uncle, and Teddy's got a few ads down his on
Yeah.
his resume.
That's so cool. I think that was like I was funny when we started doing UGC. Like I didn't even think about I guess like dog brands or like animals being like I guess a form of UGC. So when we first saw, which I don't know, maybe it was Charlie's, and she did a like a dog collab. It was just like this is so cool. It's like wow, you can actually do
Yeah, it's a
this.
massive, massive market that I think a lot of people don't think about.
Mm.
No, like honestly, if you have a pet, like go for it. Like, I think somebody recently put up on their stories, I was like, try this brand, try this brand. I love how transparent also the community is. Like,
Mm,
everyone's just wanting to help each other.
yeah,
And Charlie's dog is so cute.
yeah.
Funny
Scarlet.
enough, she's literally the first person I laid eyes on in real life from like the UGC space.
Oh,
In
really?
the longest time that I've been doing this, she was one of the first people I met. It was so lovely to meet so many individuals who are like-minded as well.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of actually the same with us because we went to the UGC event and she was one of the first people
Yeah.
that we saw.
Oh, there you go. And
She's very sweet. She's very nice. She's
this,
definitely like it's nice. I think also to like fitting when you kind of meet someone or you've been interacting with someone online and then you meet them in real life and they are
Yeah,
kind of what you see online.
yeah.
It's like really, I guess, like befitting.
100%. And I believe they spoke highly of you. I think Rom was there and Kelsey. I don't know if you, yeah, know of them. And they spoke highly of you that they met you at the event. They're like, I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my God. But I hadn't met you guys right in person, but I'm like, but their energy is so good. I'm like, I believe that if you met like Evie and Jake in person, it's like just like bubbly. They're so friendly because truly energy just it reads. Like you can't fake
Yeah.
that stuff, right? And even just talking to you, I'm like, oh, I'm at ease. Like, how lovely. Like,
That's
just
so
talking to some
nice.
friends.
I think it's funny. I think like when we first started UGC, we like went into it knowing nothing. We did no prior research. We like heard about it in one place, went, oh yeah, like we can do this. And I think we're still like getting into the habit of I think we struggled a little bit with like that whole energy thing of like that barrier between online and in person and
yeah, yeah,
communicating our energy.
yeah.
I think for some people it's really easy, but then like for us, we found it really, really hard. I think at first, as soon as we were filming and you turn the camera on, it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of remembering my lines and then I'm not realizing that my whole face is blank. It's very
No,
funny.
it's like that. You know what? I'm very theatrical, right? I've got a European background, so I have to be more careful not to like and like scare people on camera. So I have like the reverse thing where I'm like,
Yeah.
calm down, like less hands, let's talk normally. Otherwise, I'll be all over the shop.
That's so good though. I think that's like you're the perfect type of person for UGC
Yeah.
because it comes so naturally to you.
Some days, right? Like anything, you got your good days, your bad days, and your in betweens. But actually, I've always wondered when you guys started, or when you both started UGC, was it like on purpose that you did it together, or was one more interested than the other? Because I was like, how great you get to work with your partner, your best friend. Like, how fun is that? How cute, but also how bloody unique. Please beep me if that word is not allowed.
That's okay.
We have always planned to do everything together.
Yeah, we basically like met at work and then
Yeah, I think that's how we met. Is we met when we were living back on the Gold Coast. We met at work, and I think because we met at work, we never had an issue working together.
yeah.
That's so good.
And I think it just kind of as you do working a retail job or whatever, everyone wants to kind of escape that. So we just kind of went, you know, what could we do together? What like business could we start? What could we do? And like I know for myself, like um I like lack a bit of problem solving skills sometimes, and I guess that's like more her area of expertise. But also at the same time, it's like she's like made me I guess like feel also a bit more confident so then it's made then like doing certain things I guess more easier so it was just like that natural progression of like oh I've always wanted to start a business because I can't like problem solve the best. It's like, what should we do? What should I do? And then, yeah, we got together and we worked together, and it was like, oh, working together is so fun. It's so easy. So it was just like, oh, we've got all this confidence now. Like, let's try and like start something else. And then, yeah, we stumbled upon UGC accidentally, actually, which was really funny. We were like watching, we were
Yeah.
doing we started doing copywriting,
Ah,
and because we both like that, the appeal of that and what that incorporates, and then
Yeah, we kind of knew we were like we want to have some form of online business.
and then that kind of like it's interesting. I would say like the barrier of entry for UGC, it is kind of
Really
like
low.
really low. I think the barrier of entry for copywriting is also low, but I think the success rate of like maybe pitching, like maybe let's say you have to pitch to 100 brands for UGC, and then maybe you might get one.
yeah.
Like copywriting, you may have to pitch to probably 200, 300. And then there's not necessarily always like the gifted aspect. So it was that interesting thing. It was like, oh, let's kind of do this on the side, but like let's see something else that we can kind of fall into. And then yeah, we just watched a random video and they said UGC and we're like, oh, what's this? And then we just kind of went head first.
Yeah. But we're very lucky. I think it's fascinating. I think I'm interested to hear, do you like yourself, do you know many content creators like in your personal life?
No, I don't, surprisingly. And it's so funny that you were saying that. I'm like, oh my God, that resonates because I feel like UGC found me, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think actually a package has just arrived as we're speaking.
That's okay. If you need to go get it, that's fine.
No, it's okay. They can, I think it's just they can leave it at the door. But yeah, so randomly, same thing, sort of, it was post COVID, and like many of us, I left a job that was no longer serving me. And I came across as like a random weeknight and this video, UGC. So I'd like tried the influencer thing, right? Made the banana bread. I think that was like famous. And that coffee with the sugar. Yeah, some really bad attempts, but I'd loved creating content, loved media in high school. And then, yeah, I just had this same little universal nudge like, hey, have a look at UGC. And I committed the cardinal sin. I had my personal Instagrams. I didn't change anything. Created a TikTok, right? Not, I was thought TikTok was always for the youngsters. I had no idea. Slapped on UGC, and I was so ballsy, right? I don't have the confidence now, but I'm like started pitching to brands, and I think within 2 weeks I got like paid jobs, and it was like wow, like brands want to pay me. I have no idea what I'm doing. To this day I'm still trying to figure it out, right? Because like social media is ever evolving. And yeah, and now it's like, oh, here we are, 2 and something years still doing this on and off.
Yeah. I think like something, it's like what you just said, something that's so amazing about it. That's the thing. You literally like whether you've already got an Instagram account and you make one, you just put UGC and all of a sudden you're a UGC creator.
Yeah.
And you almost like you're making something out of literally nothing and you can start getting paid. It's crazy.
I think that's like 100% the coolest thing about UGC is like it's funny. All you have to do is literally like pitch to someone, explain that you want to make content, how you can help that brand out. Say you're a creator, and it's like you basically got like obviously if they say yes, but like yeah, you are basically a UGC creator. There is nothing quite like it really that you can kind of do that because that's the whole thing. You kind of then if they want to see a portfolio, then I guess you got to kind of make that, or if you've at least made some content on social media. But it's like that whole thing where you see people saying, yeah, you don't need a large following, and because you don't, which is it's really cool.
It's so true. I literally had no followers when I started. And like I said, I just slapped it on. I cringe now. Like there are so many things now that I would never ever do. But, it led to the path and here we are. But I feel like there are brands who will give you the opportunity who,
Yeah.
I think I took on a gifted collab and it's now like one of my retainer clients. And, like you never know where something is going to lead you to, which I absolutely love, right? And you might start UGC and start a podcast, or you might become a social media manager. There's like so many different avenues from growth just from starting something or just like having the faith in yourself to just begin. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like, well, who am I? Who am I to start UGC? What even, you don't have 100,000 followers. Who's going to take you seriously? It's like, well, you never know
Yeah,
if you
I
don't
think
start.
it's so good because like it also is completely transformed like how I see social media. Like I literally saw social media as people's profiles that whatever, famous people, and I never really saw it as like a career and a job, and it's just completely changed the way I see it.
Right? There's so many different avenues. Like
It's like
I also never knew.
Well, that's like what happened to us. It's funny. It's like what you're kind of saying. It's like that whole thing of everything opens up new opportunities. It's like the moment you take that risk or you open yourself to a new idea instead of like that lack mindset, you kind of then just all of a sudden, that whole thing of abundance. Like that's what kind of happened to us with like, our social media management job that we have. It was just that thing of we kept just going to this cafe, really nice people, really enjoyed the coffee, and it was just like, oh, we do UGC. Oh, some people that do UGC are also social media managers. Like, why couldn't we do this? This kind of makes sense. So it was just like, why don't we just ask them? And it was just like that opportunity was kind of created because we just like, yeah, took that risk and was like, you know what? Well, if we can do this, why can't we do
yeah,
that?
it's like magic. It's like poof, all of a sudden something appears and you've literally created like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put this on my title now.
I love it, but honestly, if you don't ask, you'll never know, right? Like
Yeah.
I think you asked like what's the best piece of advice, but honestly, it's not necessarily that was ever given to me. It was, you are the creator of your reality. And if you don't ask, you will never know. And then,
Yeah.
right, like that opens so much opportunity for abundance, like you said.
Yeah. It,
I'm older, right? 35. I had no idea. Sorry that,
it's
it
okay.
was even available for me at that
Yeah.
time, right? I thought it was like for the young kids, 20s, teens. No, like anyone can do anything if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, and I think when you like realize that successful people are getting places because they're just asking,
Mm,
what's the worst that's gonna happen? Someone's gonna say no. That's how you get places. And I think like for me personally, I was kind of raised with the mentality of you shouldn't ask for things because that's too forward.
mm,
And I think that's been like a huge like mentality switch for me this year is realizing you can ask for anything. You
yeah.
can literally just go out and ask, message someone, ask. That's like the most powerful thing I think we can do.
That's so beautiful. And not to quote the Kardashians or anything, but like Jenna says, right? If you get a no, you're asking the wrong person. Ask
Yeah,
again, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
and the worst thing you can do is not try. Because
Yeah.
then you're not being true to yourself. You're not being honest to yourself, right? If it's something you want to do, no one's going to stop you but you.
That's right. It's like the whole thing of it's like we self-sabotage because we're afraid of rejection.
mm-hmm.
And then because we're afraid of rejection, we then don't create opportunities for ourselves. Like that's like what did we find? We found a UGC creator. She was what 65 or something. Like and she
Awesome.
she's doing the best that she can. Obviously, like doesn't necessarily like it was funny. Her videos were not like expertise or anything, but it was just so cool. She had like collaborations with brands and that, and
Yeah,
she'd post like we were like looking at how many times she had posted. She'd post every day. It was like a different product. It was like it's like cool thing to see. Like yeah, that's right. What you kind of said. It doesn't matter what age you are, who you are, what you're doing. You just gotta try and create that opportunity. It's so powerful. I'm really big on what you said of like that's kind of like I guess like our what do you call it, like mission or like kind of like our motto too, which is like, you really can create your own reality.
yeah, and I think it's so like I guess it's such a paradox. It's like once you realize no one's coming to save you, that's
Yeah.
that's when you have to save you and you have to start creating it. And I think once you realize that, like I think at first it sounds really like negative. Oh no, like no one's coming to save me.
All
Like
on me.
and then you realize, oh no, that's me. That's
Mm,
my job. And I think that's when everything like you start to see everything differently.
It's a power play, isn't it? You realize you've always held the power. And don't
Yep.
get me wrong, like I'm still, like I said, figuring it out. There are days I'm like, knight in shining armor, just rescue me. Like
Yeah.
today's like too much, can't deal. And then there are other days like, no, we're gonna boss babe, we're gonna do
Yeah.
this. We're gonna like, no, no one's coming to save me, no one's gonna help you. No matter how much love and support you have from someone, right? At the end of the day, you owe it to yourself to give it your best shot because
Yeah.
you live one life, whatever it might be, not just you see in anything. Sorry, not to sound like a motivational t-shirt.
Okay.
All of these random one-liners.
No, they're good. It's so true. It's like that's what makes the human experience. Those moments of like some days kind of being like, someone please save me. And there's other days where like, yes, I am the boss. I can do it. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
you kind of have to have those days in some funny way where it's like, oh, everything so because you kind of being reminded no one is coming to save me. I have to save myself. So then you can bounce back and go, I am the boss.
Yeah, it's super funny. It's like also especially like being a woman and like hormones and everything like that. Like 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 a period of time where I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm so sad, I'm not doing anything today, and then like I just go, oh, well, like the day doesn't have to be like this. I'm making it like this. I can literally go and start doing things and like make myself feel better.
100%. But can I just say, it's okay to be in like that like self-pity phase for
Yeah.
a second, like, or not self-pity, but like just in that moment of, you know what, my body needs to rest. I am feeling the type of way. Like right now, if my partner breathes the wrong way, we're in trouble, right? So it's like, it's no offense, Jake. I don't know if you guys go through that too. But it's like, okay, like nothing is getting done today, and I'm just gonna honor, going for a walk, meditation, whatever it might be, just to like, I'll realign because
Yeah.
sometimes you need it, right? Like I feel like when we also force ourselves, burnout happens, right?
That's exactly
So quickly.
right. Yeah, it's like I think scheduled rest is also one of those things that literally contributes to success.
Well,
I
yeah.
think so many like the modern hustle culture a lot of the time it's getting better now. It's getting a bit better now, but it doesn't work like that. You can't go. That's not like sustainable. And I think the most important part is being like, yeah, able to like honor yourself, give yourself rest. If you're having a bad day, let yourself have a bad day. There's nothing worse than then beating yourself up about it. You end up having an even worse day.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like we're human and like biologically, scientifically, we have to sleep. And it's like we then try and fight the fact that, and I'm so bad at it. I'm so bad. Like I'll constantly try and fight like resting. But it's like it's at the end of the day, you like it's the whole thing of like you self-sabotaging because it's really the fact of, we are made to sleep. We have to, that's when our like because she's studying psychology and she did a subject on not a subject, it was a what do you call it? I guess it is a subject. Yeah, unit. About sleep, about REM sleep and the power of REM sleep on your brain, and just let alone what it does to your brain and all of your cognitive function, your memory. It keeps you healthy, and it's like that's the thing. It's like even just something as simple as not going to sleep, but just resting your body. It helps your stress regulate and everything. So it's funny that we somehow are now in a society where it's kind of like you shouldn't be resting.
Yeah, I remember I also like heard a fact a little while ago where it was, and it's so true because then I thought about it with myself. When you're resting, and especially like something like meditation, when your body and your brain knows that it's like relaxing, that's a lot of the time where your creativity is boosted. And that's where it's like think about when you're asleep and you're dreaming and you're coming up with all these like amazing things. That's when your brain it's like, oh, okay, I can start working now. I can start doing things now, and I think that's so cool.
I was actually reading Breaking the Habit of Yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good. I think was it Thomas Edison or Nikola Tesla where they would sleep with the ball and they'll just get like that light, I think it was theta or beta, and then they would wake up and that's where their inventions started happening. So they're just like going into the deep sleep enough, rest, and then kind of come back and it's like all these great ideas.
Yeah.
And I think Albert Einstein too, and like we know the man was a genius, right? So
kind of to blend in what we've been kind of talking about, we're like really interested to kind of know where did you kind of like, I guess, first delve into this understanding of like, we are the creators of our reality, like manifestation, and like kind of what I guess drew you to, I guess, more self-discovery or I guess learning more about it.
Honestly, I have to say, like, I've always loved manifestation and well-being and listening to podcasts. And I think I love, and I don't know if you've because we're similar, you've noticed in the community, everyone is so aware, like self-aware and mental and health and well-being and manifestations. Everything is like, it's not just UGC related, right? We're all
Mm.
supporting each other. And yeah, I love my podcasts. I do, daily walks. I try and have like a morning routine. And I feel like that has helped me to not only create better content, create a better life. And I've noticed, I don't know, little things like I said I always, wanted a Latino partner and I, manifested that and I manifested this home and I certain things that I'm just like uncanny. Let me tell
Yeah.
you, there's a brand I work with recently and I just posted a random video. It was like ineffective product. I was going to buy it anyway. Reached out to them. I don't normally do gifted, but I was like, I just have a feeling to work with these guys.
Mm.
And I did a little video and they come back and they're like, okay, we want to secure, here's a four-figure deal. So it's like these little things are like, oh my God, like the universe, when you open yourself up, when you try and better yourself, the universe meets you halfway,
Yeah.
right? Sorry, that was maybe a bit long-winded,
No,
but
no,
like,
no.
Amazing. I love hearing about other people's like successful manifestations. It like does, it almost sounds like magical. And I love especially when you're like you almost like because I think a lot of people like purposefully manifest as like a ritual, but I love hearing stories where you were like you decided you wanted this thing one day and then boom,
Mm.
before you know it, like that's your life. I think that's so special.
I won't jinx it, but a similar thing happened. I was just randomly looking at computer desks, like a random, and it's like one brand and one particular desk kept popping up on my feed, and I was like, oh God, like, should I just go buy it? So then I had surgery, I got sick, I didn't check my emails for a hot minute. I get back and the first email says like, "Hey, we've like seen your content. We'd love to send you this desk." I'm like, "Holy schmackos! Like, are you for real?" And it was literally this same desk that I've been staring at for like the last 2, 3 months. And now we're like in negotiation, and hopefully it'll be like, hopefully fingers crossed, shipped out soon. So just like
Yeah.
these little bits of magic, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's I you sound like one of those people too where like you seem at a really high vibration, like your energy, you have
Oh,
really high energy,
Mm.
and I think that that's what happens like to people like
Yeah.
that. Like I can sense like your positivity, and I think that's the whole point. I think it's like super hard to get caught up and to then mentally feel really bad about things.
Yeah.
But I think like having that like ability to stay positive is what ends up like helping you succeed.
Even like by the sounds of it, which I think a lot of people struggle with the most, is it's like, yeah, your lack of scarcity. It's kind of
Yeah.
like what you're saying. You kind of went into it, saw this desk or was thinking about a desk, and then just kept seeing it online, and you're like, oh, you know what? I think I want to buy it. But then obviously you didn't rush out to buy it. And then it was
I
like, yeah,
forgot
you
about it.
Yeah.
you kept seeing it, but it was like obviously you just kind of was like, oh, maybe this is a sign. And it's like that's that real abundance flow that I think people try to get into, but then they start panicking. They go, I need to reach out to this brand, or no, no, should I just buy it? And then you start overthinking it or thinking about it too much, and then you just kind of, and then like you said, a little life thing happened, and then you completely forgot about it. But that abundance kind of flew because you had no scarcity. That yeah, you came back, and then boom, it was there. And I think that's so cool to hear. It is like you were saying, it's really
Yeah.
nice to hear people's.
Yeah, but it's true. It's like if you're not experiencing it yourself, sometimes it's hard to believe
Hmm.
the whole concept of like, attracting what you want. But
Yeah.
it's so nice hearing people's stories.
I guess like a question that I have is, where do you think? Because like I said, I think that's like one of the hardest thing people struggle with. Where do you think that concept of like, I guess, lack of scarcity maybe it come from, or do you feel like sometimes you just struggle with that?
Oh, 100%. I will be fully transparent. I think you can heal. Like, even in my life, there are so many things I was like, I've healed. There's so many limiting beliefs I've gone through. And let me tell you, out of nowhere imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
fear, scarcity. Like you can be high vibe, but then there are things like you said, like the contrast, right? You'll get into it and then you'll get into your own head and you'll see other creators and you'll do these things. And I think for me personally, ChatGPT is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Like seriously, I literally was having one of those days where it was like too much in my head. I'm like, no, ChatGPT, I don't want to think. Come up with journal prompts. What do I need to do? Light a candle, go for a walk, and literally, okay, I'm low vibe. I can sense I'm. I think the biggest thing is to be that self aware or try to be just acknowledging it, right? You don't have to be like, and I love Jay Shetty, but you don't have to be that high vibe all the time. You can have your moments. You're a person, right? Like you're a human being. That contrast, and then you go, okay, I'm feeling a bit jealous or comparison or like the low energy frequencies. These are the things, then these are the tools, meditation, using ChatGPT to come up with journaling prompts, like
Mhm.
really just getting it down on paper, get rid of that gunk that's in your head.
Yeah.
Oh my God, let me tell you, the next time, like you'll just feel more free. And then, like,
Yeah.
hopefully that build up, that abundance mindset. And then you'll start noticing it. Everything in your life overflows, right? You
Yeah.
get brand deals and, like, oh my God, like, if you say you're single, you find this romantic partner, everything just kind of, overflows.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you feel that too sometimes when you're feeling
Yeah.
that lift?
Yeah. I've always found that like the trick, it's like when you let go and then you like detach from thinking that you need
Just
something,
surrender.
you forget and then it pops up and it's like, oh wow. And I watched a video recently and I think for such a long time, like the concept of limiting beliefs actually only a new thing I learned about and I was like, oh wow, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't. You don't like where like the whatever you want to call it, like the town I grew up in, my school. You don't learn, and I think a lot of
No,
schools you don't learn about it if you kind of don't have a really like that type of role model.
It's funny.
It's a completely foreign concept.
It's really interesting. It's like something that I've learned. It's like kind of being self-aware. It's like when you're self-aware, you think everybody is self-aware. And then it's like it's not until like moments where then you kind of like start questioning things, you get confused, and then yeah, you kind of realize, hey, maybe I'm the nuance. Maybe I'm, people are not actually as self-aware as, maybe I am. And it's really fascinating. I think it's interesting. Like I think it's a concept that, like you said, really plays on, that abundance and being able to kind of overcome those situations. Because like that's something, there's a perfect example. Last night I was doing one of those things where I was a bit run down and I guess like trying to fight that going, and instead of just kind of going and, okay, let's just stop. Let's just, okay, I feel this way. That's okay. I just need a rest and it's okay. Where it's like, I was self aware that I was feeling this way, but I wasn't then having the courage to kind of go, you know what, that's fine. And then it wasn't until she said, come on, like, come on, let's just like, let's just relax now. Like, it's all right. Everything's fine. It's like, then that's where that I guess, yeah, like you said, that surrender and that relaxation can kick in, and then you're kind of rebooting yourself for the abundance to continue into the next day.
Yeah, and just what I was saying. That's what I was saying before. The whole like concept of limiting beliefs. Once I learned about what they were and I realized that, I was like, wow, this is actually playing a major role in my life, as I'm sure most, if not all
yeah,
people. And I think for quite a while, I then struggled to like understand, okay, I have a limiting belief, but changing my beliefs, that sounds like such like a massive thing. And it is. And you try all the different things, like whether meditation, journaling, visualization, and it's like funny. It's not one size fits all.
no.
And you have to go through them, and then it also takes practice to then see what works the best for you. And I was watching a video the other day, and the she was like a manifestation coach, and she said one of like the first steps to breaking a limiting belief is catching yourself when you have it and going, I'm not going to believe that. It's so simple, but it's the repetition. You're literally breaking it. And I think I found that probably works the best for me as opposed to Journaling for some reason, I don't know why. I think I'm a visual person, so I love visualization and meditation. Journaling, it's a strange thing. Like I haven't found my groove with it yet, but I really like that she said that, and I think it's 100% true.
100%. Like you said, it's no size, like one size fits all, and I think we forget to be kind to ourselves in
Mhm.
these moments. And like, that's the most, if you're feeling like down, it must have been a full moon then, because like literally I felt the same way yesterday, right? And yeah, it's whatever works for you. And half the limiting beliefs we have are not even linked, say like money, right? Like that's a big one. A lot of people adapt from other things that they've heard from TV shows, from
Yeah,
family, from schooling, right? Half the time it is not even something that you truly believe in. It was sort of taught to you, or you assume
yeah,
that, and like you took that on board. Like money is hard to make, right?
yeah,
Because for the longest time, 9 to 5 was the only way people could make money. And like
yeah,
social media didn't exist in our parents' generation,
yeah,
teachers, and all of that. And now it's like, well, no, acknowledge that you have a limiting belief, and then you can tell it to fly away. I was
yeah.
going to say something else then, but I won't.
I love what you just said. Like what you just said then, it is so good. It's like remembered something else that I've like heard before, and it's funny. It's like, oh, I'm having like the worst mind blanks. Oh my God. It was like right there, and
I
I
was
just wanted to
really
go like,
It's
whoa.
like on the tip of your tongue,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I hate that. It's like,
Um, about money.
about where like it doesn't even come from your own beliefs.
Yeah, how you like you said like oh you think money's hard to get. It's like it's like that's so true. It's like the moment you go no, money's not hard to get. Money is everywhere. It's like that like is an instant
energy.
rewiring to
Yeah,
kind of go, "Oh, cool. I'm now gonna find money." And like that's the thing. Boom, you now maybe stumbled upon UGC. Boom, maybe something else or whatever it may be. It's like
yeah,
you actually go searching for it, but because when you grow up, depending on the situation, you watch your parents work, you get told while you're at school, you gotta go to uni, get a job. It's like then you kind of getting told from day dot,
I don't
money is
even
hard to
use
get.
my degree. Like,
yeah,
it's not like how many years later, like 10 years later, it's like hanging at my parents. So my parents' European background, right? It was like really important. You had to get that degree. It's literally just hanging there. Like it was
yeah,
a very expensive piece of paper. Like that's it. I don't even
yeah.
use it now.
Yeah, and it's so true, like what you just said too. It's like if a lot of like spiritual manifestation people, they will describe they don't like that money is like energy,
Mm,
and you're actually attracting the energy of money rather than like seeing it as that tangible thing.
yes.
And like, don't get me wrong, again, like I want to be fully transparent and say I have those moments too where it's like you fall back into that mindset of, oh my God, like, am I doing the right thing? Or is it this or is it that? And it's like, you know what? Just money is energy. You can spend it, it will come back to you. Like, just enjoy life. I think that's the
Mhm.
most important thing, no matter what you do, right? Like, just enjoy where you are now because you might be filthy rich one day, right? And like living your best life and you're Leonardo DiCaprio on a yacht, right? Like, but you're still gonna like enjoy the process to getting where you are
Mhm.
because everything else, like what's meant for you will not escape you.
Yeah.
Whether that's, money and this and that, whatever your goals are. Again, I don't want to sound like a motivational teacher.
No,
So
no.
sorry. It's like
No, it's like spot on. It's like kind of like the moment you kind of you start like not like kind of appreciating the moment that you're in, you just end up like building that resistance. You
Yeah,
you
because
are the resistance to kind of get to where you're meant to be, or you're just making where you're meant to be take twice as long.
yeah, and if you're not like that's the whole cliche, like if you're not being present, like where even are you? If
Mm.
you're not in the like the moment.
Like where are you going?
Yeah.
Too busy on the past, and the past gets you nowhere.
And I was
yes,
like,
we're either fixated on the future, right? In the past
yeah,
and never on the present.
yeah.
A really interesting question that I'm intrigued to know is where has I guess your like definition of like abundance and success, how has it kind of like changed over the time? So like where kind of was it, before UGC? How is like since doing UGC now for a while, where is it? And then like and how has it kind of become now? Like do you feel like you've watched a progression or it's kind of always stayed the same?
That is such a good question. And again, full transparency, every everything that I've gone through, I think, is a learning curve. And like I said, I feel like I've, gone past this limiting belief, like, money's hard to make, for example, again, to the more success, whatever success looks like to you, the more pressure I will put on myself. And then that's when the scarcity mindset comes in because it's like, oh
Hmm.
my God, this ad did really well. And, this is a really great paid gig on, oh my God, am I going to achieve that the next month? And I think, again, no matter what success looks like to you, wherever you are in your journey, you do get that because then when you're like, well, I'm seeing results, is it going to get taken away from me,
Yeah.
right? And it's kind of going, okay, now step back. You've had these results because you have this passion, and it's like, okay, again, money is energy and clearing. I think every step, the universe is like, okay, you're ready to up level, but there's something holding you back. Why do you
Yeah.
still feel this way? So
Mm.
yeah, there are moments where I'm like, okay, like stop what you're doing, get out of your head. Like this is BS. Like your mind's playing, fearful and scare tactics on you to like, okay, it's just that worst case. Okay, UGC stops, get a 9 to 5. Okay, don't like a 9 to 5, go back to UGC. There is options. Like you just, I think, get out of your own head. For me personally, I think that's my biggest thing. When I get into my head, that's when I find the old limiting beliefs starting to follow me.
Yeah.
It's that I like that too. That's like really, I guess like I think it's something that I think we should try to be more confident in, which is like something like, yeah, UGC isn't like working out or like it's going well or maybe it's too much. It's like there it going back to a 9 to 5 does not mean you're a failure, does not mean,
No,
your scarcity is coming. And then it's like, you can always just do that and then go back to UGC. It's like, yeah, opening no matter whether overall or socially it feels like a downgrade, you kind of open it with would you say like open arms, like,
Mm.
and just kind of, yeah, just appreciate this is the moment. And maybe taking a step back and maybe getting another job or whatever, maybe that's going to help me go back into it to then do even better, or it's going to lead to a different opportunity. It's so important.
and that's why I want to be so honest. I think, and you can see like some of the top creators too. They'll probably tell you they feel the same. They go through their ebbs and flows. Some people are really good at attracting that energy or the money or the job and the things and maybe not keeping it. And then there's other people who
Yeah.
are really good at slow, sustainable income and growing their following and things. Other people see success really quickly and then stop and plateau. And it's like ebb and flow for everyone. But yeah, I think no matter what you do, as long as it makes you happy, you
Yeah.
put food on the table, like all the power to you.
Yeah. And I think like another part of it too is I think like what you were saying when we all have those moments, and I think one thing that really helps is being able to like notice your like, yeah, I'm falling back into limiting beliefs, I'm having a really hard day. That's where you, if you're lucky, you have like the ability to go, okay, I'm gonna use gratitude
Mm.
to
Yeah.
try to like ground me. And that's where you hear everything about gratitude. It's kind of that thing, I think, that it like centers you and brings you back to the present moment, because at any moment,
Mm.
you can say at least one thing that you're grateful for. And I think it's just,
But that's really spot on. I think that's like you don't really hear to use gratitude in that way. Like that really like, I haven't necessarily even heard you, like you said, you always just hear, oh, do your journal, wake up, I'm grateful for this and this and this. But it's like sometimes like I've tried to do that. Doesn't really work. But like how you're saying, that may like I feel like I could apply that and then that could really help me. It's like what you said. Yeah, it's like, but I'm just saying like it's so true. I
Just
think,
because you bounce off each other, right? Like
yeah.
that's great. Like whatever your bounce back rate is, if you have that support from someone when you don't see it yourself, I think that's so lucky. And I think that's one of the other reasons, sort of digressing, but so many new UGC grade creators fail because they don't want to continue or they feel they're going to be judged. But this community is so welcoming and so supportive. Like if you don't feel like you have the support, it's actually there. Like I know no other 9 to 5 that has, I could be wrong,
yeah,
right? I've been out of it for a hot minute, but that has so much love and support and just even like being grateful for that community. Like just,
yeah,
oh my God, like I can actually just try and be grateful and build something because I'm not going to be judged by the people doing it. Like no one is going to judge you in this creative space because we all had to start somewhere. Heck, there are
Yeah.
things I made 2 weeks ago that I'm like, oh my God, I do not like if I see that ad one more time, I'm going to die of embarrassment. Like, oh my God, I already learned one other thing I could change here. I could do this, right?
Yeah.
But, so it's like, it's just come in with open arms and come in like, yeah, take your blessings and your gratitude because it will take you a long way as well.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. It's like what you just said. It's like we did the same thing. Something we made like a week ago. We're like, wait, what? Or instantly, as soon as we posted, you will always go, I would have changed this one thing. And then it's like after you post it, you realize. But what that shows me, and I always try to remind you of this, is that it's literally showing you're constantly growing. And because
Yeah,
it's so constant, you don't always realize. Like the whole thing of you look at yourself in the mirror every day, you don't notice that you look at a photo 2 years ago and that you look different. It's the same thing. You're not actually acknowledging or probably properly appreciating
Mm.
how much you're growing.
Well, it's even just like learning to that whole gratitude thing of just going, being too hard on yourself and going, you know what? This brand liked what I did. I did such a great job. They were happy with it. They didn't tell me to refilm it. They didn't tell me to do something different. Just because I can see things that I would have done different or like I don't like it now,
they're happy
you
with
know,
it.
it doesn't mean, oh, everyone else is gonna hate or everyone else is seeing it how like, we see like we are viewing it. And I think that's also and I think that gets a lot of creators down too. And I think that's something that it's like you said, the community is so loving and so supporting that it's like, we
So,
can be hard on ourselves, but we're only creating like a detriment to ourselves. Where like, yeah, everyone else could be loving what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think it's also like I don't know about you, but like I forget and I think I detach from the whole content creator. Like we're all in our own little way, little artists making content, editing, doing all that, and I think people forget like a part of the creative process is we're putting all of us into it in that moment, and then we learn, and then we get new inspiration, and 2 weeks pass, and I think that's like something to do like artistically, you're constantly evolving as well.
and it's meant to be fun, right? Like you're meant to enjoy what you do. And I think we forget that too, to have a little bit of fun. And I think I posted this recently and we spoke about it. It's like something that you put like high vibe, a good frequency, did really well. I think had like it's close to 100,000 views in a few days. And then something that I put my heart and soul to, and
Yeah,
with
yeah,
every intention, right, to want
yeah,
to do well, to inspire people, didn't necessarily in views do well, but it's like, but when you force something, it's like I forgot to have fun. Where the
yeah,
other one was like, oh, I was a bit cheeky, it was high vibe,
yeah,
some, all of these good things, and again, like it's red. That energy is red. You got to have fun, and I think when you're in that play energy and
yeah,
you're having fun and like you're learning, you're growing, and you're posting. It's like that people read that and people
yeah.
resonate with that. Whereas where you're, like you're forcing something,
Mhm.
like you're holding onto it for dear life, like I was with that type of content.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, we can have more fun with that, and maybe it will, reach more people, and it'll do the
Yeah.
get
E-
you whatever you're intended, like the views and stuff.
Even like I think that's really spot on because it's like something we did the other day. We made a video and it was kind of like we were doing it and it was just like feeling forced. It wasn't feeling right. We were not like feeling the best. And then we were just like, oh, stuff it. Like let's just like wing it. Let's just like do whatever. And we were bringing that energy. We were bringing that like, trying to create that high vibe. And it maybe still didn't necessarily go the way that we wanted to, but just to kind of like take a moment back on what we've been talking about. It's funny to kind of see in reflection now. It's like, maybe the reason it still didn't go as well was because we didn't go into it energetically aligned. We almost, even though we were kind of raising our vibration, it was still necessarily kind of forced. Where, like you said, that video that went really, really well from the get-go, it was just full high frequency, high play, high enjoyment. And then we kind of, made the video and it kind of had that feeling of oh, I like this is great, but it's like I hope this does really well. And then we created that lack of that
You like
lack
get like
mindset
yeah,
and that
you're
scarcity, and then
yeah.
we lost the abundance that could have been there from that frequency that we were slowly building. So it's just a really cool what you just kind of said really like brought that reflective thought, and I hope anyone listening can kind of, so important to take every situation from a really high frequency play. Like you said, we're meant to have fun. Don't if you don't put pressure on yourself.
Hmm.
I think that's the worst thing we do is we put unintentionally, we just put so much pressure because we want to do well. Like we're not just going, we want the followers and the numbers. It's like you want to perform well because it's like you said, it's part of you, right? Like
Yeah.
like can't help but think content creation is a bit more personal than perhaps any other job, right? Because it's
Yeah,
literally you. It's
totally.
your like ability. It's like what you believe in and you're posting and you're like, well, if they don't like it, is it mean that they don't like me? But it's not.
Yeah.
It's just like, have fun. People maybe can read that it was forced energy and they're
Yeah.
not going to sign up to that. But hey, you having fun and you're doing what you love, people are going to sign up for that.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like we're looking at a phone, but it's so true. You can literally like feel someone's energy through the screen.
But I think it's because what you said, and I hadn't even thought about it like that, funnily enough, which is content creation is like you being so vulnerable, even if you don't even realize, even if you're scripting, even if it's like, fully thought out and planned, because it's all organically you. You're not delivering, even
Be
that's
a bit of chat GPT.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even, but it's the same thing. It's like even if ChatGPT is like a brand brief, it's still your interpretation of the brand brief and how you kind of bring that to life. So
Mm,
you're still being super vulnerable. And that's why it's like, you subconsciously have that thought of like, oh shit, didn't go well. Do they not like me?
yeah.
Which is like really, I guess, eye-opening. Like that's so very, very so true.
Yeah, 'cause I definitely do that. Well, you also definitely do that where it's like, oh no, I guess they don't like us anymore.
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe because you guys, everything you post is so fun and like so
Oh.
sweet, and you feel the love between you two as well, which I think is so special. No, truly, like, which is I think is so special. Like when you post and you can just see you're having majority of the time, like you said you did a video and you felt forced. I've never felt that from you. I honestly felt like it's always just fun and you guys are just going in and having the like, the best time with your like best friend. And I think that resonates so well.
Oh,
But
thank you. That's very
yeah,
nice. That means a lot to
it
us.
does. It's like
Like,
really, really, really reassuring. It's funny. I think it's that whole thing of, again, the reminder for anyone listening, any person, and again, not just UGC, just life in general.
yeah.
You gotta like sometimes you got to mentally take 3 steps backwards. Like, when you're in the thick of it, or you're living your life, sometimes you're not actually living your life, you're over analyzing your life. And it's like, sometimes, like you said, we definitely feel like sometimes it's like is a bit forced or not exactly energetically aligned, or you know but I guess it's like it's that core energy is there of like what you're saying, and I guess that's always coming across, which is nice. And then maybe, removing those scarcity and limiting beliefs can really bring that full energy across. So
Yeah.
we're very thankful for that. Really,
Yeah.
really sweet for you to say.
And I think that just like makes me think about it. It's like makes me grateful for the opportunity to because that's the thing in our like immediate circle in life, we don't know any other content creators. So you go on your phone and that's all you see. But when you step outside, it's like it sometimes it feels like it doesn't even exist. And it's all
Yeah,
just within your phone. It's
Yeah.
just a whole nother world somewhere that you turn your phone off and it's just like gone. So it's really nice, and that's what I think is the best part about the podcast. Is just being able to speak to people doing similar stuff, and like I think that's just human nature, being able to relate and talk about like our experiences. And I think for a while, like we're lucky because we have each other, but I can only imagine like doing it by myself. I it'd be very isolating and just feeling that lack of with anything, that human connection's really, really important no matter what you're doing.
100%. I've recently started with my girlfriend. She works from home. We'll like take it in turns to work at each other's house. Like, so she
Oh,
does like your normal 9 to 5, just so it's like it's not so isolating at times.
yeah.
Partners at work, whatever else. So it's just like she'll come over here, I'll come over there, we'll do some admin and things, have a little yarn. I'm like, you need that. You need,
Yeah.
just like friends, or like if you're a mom, you need to get out. You need to do things for
Yeah.
you.
Hmm.
That's such a good idea. That's so
I like
nice.
that. It reminds me of actually, funnily enough, kind of like slightly not make sense, but I guess because you said the mum thing, I saw a video, or actually someone we follow, I think posted to their story, and it's kind of like it was like, oh, you're a mum, but it's like, remember to slow down or whatever. It's like she's like vacuuming, and then all of a sudden it's like she starts going really slowly. It's like, oh, yeah, wait, you don't need to be vacuuming at like max speed, or it's like, she was
I
like
love that.
doing her hair, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, yeah, just slowing down. So it's like little tasks, wiping the bench, then slowing down. It's like, yeah, why are you going like so fast? Like, and it's like that concept kind of to me encapsulates like what you just kind of said in some way about you being able to go to your friend's house or your friend come to your house, even though you're both working, you're also creating an environment to slow down and then yeah, have a yarn, have a bit of a relax, have a little break, and then you don't also feel so isolated. And it's so important.
It can be like when I met like Charlie and the girls when we did our content creation, there was like minimal content creation and like it was so much like catching up. It's like, oh my God, and just see people in real life and realize how much you have in common. I think that just blew my
Yeah.
mind. It's like I've never met these people before, apart from Kelsey, we sort of over the years touched base, like conversation online, but to in person, I was like, holy moly, like wow, these girls are like so like soul is so beautiful and just like so much fun. And they felt the same thing, when they started UGC, they were judged by their friends and these things and these
Yeah.
limiting beliefs and all of this we also had a conversation about. I was like, wow, we
Mhm.
have so much in common. Who
Yeah.
knew? And like you're just like this little, profile and I'm a little profile on your page
Yeah.
and it's like wow. But yeah, no, there is so much connection, like, and sometimes it comes from the online space, and sometimes you're lucky enough to have it in person.
Yeah, but that's so true. It's like I think you become desensitized to being online, but it's such a huge step. It's such a massive thing that yeah, it's obviously it's like it's for some people, it's not for some people, but once you start, it's like it's almost crazy to think of if we didn't start
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I love that.
what like life would have been like. Like that's the thing. I think I've had a very up and down relationship with social media, and I think in a way like doing this has like healed my relationship with social media
Mm.
because I think for a long time it was like I didn't see what I could get from social media. It kind of always felt like something is taking something away from me, and now I can see it's like yeah, you can give back. And I think I could never, like 3 years ago could have never imagined myself posting on social media. That would have been so crazy to me, and now
Yeah. It's like normal.
Second nature to you.
yeah.
I
It's
love
cool.
it.
It's not it's nice. I think this to me is like what social media is about, what content creation is about, like why it I guess kind of ended up existing. And unfortunately, we have some flaws here and there as like that's a part of life. But I think it's good that there's still people out there like yourself and like again the community
Like
that kind of
yourselves.
yeah keep that real, I guess, message or that real power like alive and then be able to, yeah, keep that community, keep that meet and hang out in person, have moments like this and have the possibility, have a podcast, give more people a voice, be able to allow more people to be heard. I think it's funny at the end of the day, we all just in some strange way, like we all want to be heard. Like, we all have that energy that we want to give off and share. And we more than ever now have that platform, and I think
Mhm.
that's something that we love. That we're kind of half the reason why we started the podcast is to like be able to have that
Love
platform for like yourself and that to kind of have your voice be heard and meet listen to other people, realize oh here's someone else I didn't actually know, I haven't really talked to before, but hey I like really wait connect with them and let me go follow them or talk to them. So yeah, I think it's really cool.
Mm.
Thank you for creating this. Honestly, people do. We crave connection, right? Through whatever avenue, and that, like you said, that you created this is it's so thoughtful. And thank you, because like even just to have the opportunity now, we've like messaged and like whatever else, but to have the opportunity to like talk to you, like I was gonna say in person, but even like this is like is awesome, you know, and it's something different too. Like
Yeah.
not just your you've got your admin and your this and your
Yeah.
that, you know, you forget, right, to have this connection. And I think this is so beautiful. So thank you. Thank you both for creating this.
Been our pleasure, and we're glad that everyone's enjoying it and enjoying being a part of it.
Yeah, it's so nice meeting new people. It's like funny. It's like that whole thing of like you kind of end up becoming like a sum of all the parts of all the different people you've met, your parents, your siblings, everybody you've
I
met. Like
love
you take it's funny, even if it was a like a negative experience, it was a, you
Mm.
know, a stranger on the street yelling at you or something. I think like that's one of the best things you can do is like take little lessons and little messages away and
We're energy, and we absorb the energy of
yeah,
everybody that you interact with, and that's the way the thing, like something like this, we're getting really good energy. We both are all high frequencing right now, and we're absorbing that positive energy, and hopefully that can be felt.
spreading it, right?
That's right. People listening can feel it, and then it's like, yeah, sometimes you can then interact with someone and it not go so well, and then all of a sudden you have that bad energy, and it's just like, yeah, you really are, like you said, it's funny that sum of everybody that you interact with because of that.
yeah, it's a very interesting concept.
Mm.
I love that. It is so true though.
Hmm.
Well, to kind of wrap it up with like one fun final little question.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, nothing crazy, nothing crazy. It's just kind of more like, what is something, you find that brings you joy in life, and no matter how small it is, whether it's something just like, being with Teddy, or whatever, having a coffee in the morning, or just like, reading a book, or, spending time with your partner. What's something that brings you so much
Hit the
joy
nail
that
on the head with all of them.
and I guess like the spin on it is kind of like you want to maybe encourage the listeners that are listening, that they can kind of, maybe if they haven't tried, or they can partake in that, they can see, oh, this does bring me joy too. I think it's always important to spread more joy and positivity where we can.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't agree with that more. Yeah, definitely. If you have a pet, oh my God, they are so healing.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, Teddy's like ran away from me now. He probably got too hot, but just like cuddles with him. I think walking, that's like, that brings me so much joy. Listening to a great podcast. Probably won't listen to myself, but your previous ones I was listening to, like, but just, I don't know, little things. Take slow moments. Enjoy making your cup of coffee. Like romanticize that as they, I know, like people are probably sick of like, the YouTube and TikTokers talking about that, but I really do. Like I get so excited to make my morning coffee. Like
Yeah,
it's just my favorite, coffee machine. It's the same thing I do every day, but it's just the really, really, really tiny thing. And like my gratitude journal in the mornings, those little things, any little thing that you think is insignificant is actually
yeah,
not.
Mm.
Like maybe for you guys it might be like getting a coffee together in the morning,
yeah,
right? Like it's so little and you think it's like, oh, like whatever, but it's not. It's like the biggest part of this crazy life.
yeah,
That's like really spot on. It's like, I think finding, if you can find like, yeah, one small, like insignificant thing to, like, I guess, I don't know, majority of your day, or it's kind of like something that you maybe sometimes dread doing, but then yeah, you romanticize it. It's like that's when you can kind of actually be not at peace, but I guess in some way, because you can then, when you romanticize it, I'm sure maybe you end up being so present when you're making that coffee.
It's like you read my mind. I was just gonna say it's like you're present in the moment, right?
yeah,
Because then you're not also not thinking about the past or the future. You're just there
yeah.
in that moment. And when you're not thinking about anything else, that's joy. Because you're not,
Mm.
anxiety or stress or this,
Yes.
just that little moment.
It's so that's like, that's actually funny that you said that, because that was kind of like where I was gonna head to next, which is like, it's kind of when you think about people that maybe are a bit less fortunate, or people that have a farm, and or out and don't get to spend a lot of time with people, and it's kind of like, I'm sure if you had a conversation, it's like the whole thing about going to a foreign country, like we were talking to someone, and Actually, I think that's our next podcast episode. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was Angela. She said, um, when she went overseas to like, I think it was like I guess a third world country, and like immersing yourself in the culture of, the less fortunate to say, um, you kind of realize you can be shocked at how happy they are or how positive they are, and you can feel really connected and enriched within the culture. And it's because, yeah, they really romanticize those little simple tasks, whether it's like,
Food on the
making the
table.
food for the family, or whatever it may be. And I think that's such a, I think, powerful thing that we forget to do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm excited to hear this one then. Like I love that already. It's so true, and just even having the flu and being out for 2 weeks and
Oh yeah.
like just having your health is
Right.
like the biggest thing. Or, again, like had a little health thing. Oh my God, like okay, I used to go walking every hour, and now that I can just like slowly get back to walking for 15 minutes, oh my God, like just little things I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful. Like I took
Yeah.
just waking up and being able to get out of bed normally and have my health is like, wow, just
Yeah.
those small things. And yeah, I have heard sometimes, in less fortunate countries, they're so much happier because there's so much. When you realize we probably don't need half the materialistic things that we have, right?
Yeah.
Like, you need your bed and whatever else. It's like, oh my God, life is great. You're alive.
Yeah.
Just the fact that we're alive and we're living. And I'm not going to get too preachy, but yeah, it's just those little things that are so beautiful and really make this life experience, as you say, great.
Yeah, and it makes you like realize how things are like often simpler than what you think, and we have the tendency to overcomplicate everything
Mm,
to try,
Yes.
like literally because we're trying to survive essentially.
yeah.
And from out of fear, we're overcomplicating everything, and that just there's nothing worse. It's like it's such a relief. And that's what's so funny is like with ChatGPT, like I've like started if I feel really frantic, I'll literally like write a paragraph into ChatGPT, be like, this is my situation. It will
Yeah.
say something back that instantly eases your mind because it's like that second brain type of thing where if you're getting overwhelmed and you're struggling to be able to, organize everything and calm yourself down, it's like the same. It's like a therapist, except obviously ChatGPT, pull it
Can
up
I
on
tell
your
you
phone
that
and it's right
GPT made
there.
me cry? Like honestly, I was like, oh, I'm feeling a type of way, wrote it down and just wrote the most beautiful things. Like, like it gives you pep talks too. So it's like you've got
Yeah.
this, and you're just, you're in survival mode right now, and this is what
Yes.
you need to do. And you're like, thanks, ChatGPT. Like,
Yeah.
you're my new bestie.
Yeah, and it like tells you it's like, wow, you have a lot on your plate right now. You're doing amazing. I'm
Yes.
like, yes.
Thank you for acknowledging me.
Yeah.
It's so funny. We worked out the other day, which is funny. We like say please and thank you when we're asking like ChatGPT a question. And we
Aww.
work we worked out that when you say please and thank
Yeah.
you, it's like picking up on your manners.
It's nicer.
And then all of a sudden it starts being really like
Yeah.
even more, yeah, I guess like nicer.
Yeah. It's super funny. Like if you say hi and then you
Then
ask the
ask, yeah.
question and then you say thank you, it's gonna be like, hey, how are you? It
Mm.
gives you the answer, and it is.
Oh,
And I saw someone posted, I saw like on the explore page, someone did say that if you're because it sets the tone. So if you're being polite and you're being kind, it picks it up and goes, okay, this is the tone of the conversation.
Yeah, because I remember like I was like trying to ask it a question at work. I was like, and like, trying to like quickly be on my phone and like type with a question. I'm just like I couldn't like speak to her, and I was
be a
like,
ninja.
Yeah.
yeah, and it was funny because I can sometimes like because I blabber too much and give too much context, so like I had to learn to like be really short in how. So sometimes I can write like that, and like it was funny. It's like thinking back about it now, it gave like a really short response back. But like if I'm at home,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like typing and I'll say, oh, can you please help me understand this? It'll go, oh yeah, and then they just go
And
over the top.
sometimes it will also, I personally think that when you're nicer, it will offer to help you further.
Mm.
It will then
Oh,
be like,
good to know.
yeah, it will literally be like, is this for something in particular? Do you want to keep talking about this? Can I help you any further?
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Oh, I love, yeah, I usually get that. So hopefully I'm like kind
Yeah.
enough to ChatGPT. Like yesterday, it even created like a, which I had no idea you could do, like a PDF file. And it's like
Yeah.
my emergency go-to. So when I'm having a down day, it's like, would
Yeah.
you like this as like a pretty Pinterest picture? I'm like, yes, yes, I will. Thanks. And it literally, I'm like, okay, now I have this in my phone that I can relate. So maybe that's another thing for creators or anyone
Yeah.
going, if they're not a creator, if you're having a tough moment in life, go pour your soul into ChatGPT, and it'll come up with like a little emergency plan and some affirmations, and
Yeah.
or help you decipher what is like, if meditation isn't for you, or gratitude, or whatever it might be. There are different avenues. Like it could just be go for a walk.
Mhm.
Sometimes you need someone to tell you, and like
Yeah. Yeah.
AI
Yeah.
great at telling you what to
Literally.
do sometimes.
Even if it's not an actual person, it's that psychological thing. It's like I'm sure like our
Or you
brain
heard.
probably puts it down to almost like reading a text.
Yeah. It's funny. It makes me like wonder. I think like that was actually why it was made. But it's funny when I first heard about it, it was like, oh, kids are using it at school to do their assessments. So I thought it was like something that was like made to like, cheat or make life easier. And then yeah, it wasn't until you kind of like said something about it, and then like I was like, oh, okay. And it's like, yeah, I can't ask her a question. I'm at work or something. And it's like, oh, I'm really confused. I need to quickly understand this. And then yeah, like actually helps you with actual things. And it's like, oh, this is really cool. So I agree. Any creator that like was maybe struggling or yeah, ask it what this is how I'm feeling. What are 5 things that I can quickly go do? Especially
Yeah,
when like yeah, not everyone has the opportunity like we do to be able to talk to each other
Yeah.
or you and be able to text someone. Some people are not in those positions, and
Yeah.
it gives them an opportunity.
And especially if you're like doing something like, yeah, you're trying to start a business, you're doing like something like UGC where it's like so funny. It's like, yeah, you're starting from nothing, and sometimes there's too many resources out there and it's really
yeah.
overwhelming. There's misinformation, there's just it takes time to find like the perfect thing that works for you. So something like that, you can literally explain your exact situation to
Mm.
it. Say, I want to do this. What
It
might
comes up
be
with a
the
business plan.
yeah, right? What might be the best plan of attack for someone like me?
Yeah.
It's that's the thing. It's like I've had so many instances where I've been because I'm one of those people. I just as soon as I have a thought, I need to know the answer, so I Google it. And like, there's so
Mm,
many times where you go and before like AI, because now if you see on Google, I don't know if you've seen how it comes up with a noun.
yeah, it comes up automatically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So before that, when you'd search something up, sometimes you wouldn't actually get your answer, and then you got to go to a website, you got to read the whole website. So it makes it so much
You gotta go
simpler.
like 5 times.
Yeah.
The power of AI. It's here to support us, not be against
Take
us.
over
Like
the world.
yeah, I think that's something too. It's like we should kind of take away get rid of that mindset that like AI is here to like take our job or take UGC away from us. It's like no, at the end of the day, human connection can't be beat. It's like AI still can't completely replicate human connection, but
Yeah.
at least it can be a helping hand in
Yeah,
situations.
and it's funny. I just thought of something too. It's like, look, I don't know how it works with how it's made or who made it. I have no idea about any of that stuff, but it's funny. It's like it seems to be inherently positive. Like
Yeah.
I've like before when I've been like complaining about my problems and I've been like, "Hey, can you help me solve this?" It's said, maybe you should try accepting it
Mm.
instead of trying to
Oh.
change. Because that's so true too. I think
Oh.
changing a lot of the time can be like a band-aid thing, whereas actually being able to accept certain things about yourself or your life is kind of the long-term solution. I found that really funny. It really surprised me. It like told me it was like, have you tried not comparing yourself to others rather than trying to be like this isn't good enough? And I was like, damn.
Spitting some
Wow.
facts.
My goodness. Like ChatGPT is like the gospel now. Like,
Yeah.
holy moly. But it's so true that you said it's like, and I'm sorry if I'm taking up like your time or anything,
No,
but
No.
like
no.
the long term. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it's like I never realized like, yeah, because you're clearing all of this in your mind and all of this
Hmm.
like comparison, because we all go through it, right? Like whether you want to or not, we're just humans. to have someone go, it's okay. Like to give
Yeah.
you to then give you that permission to go, oh yeah, okay. I had a moment. I know now how to like soldier on, carry on.
Hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's like the goal isn't actually to be perfect. It's like to
No.
be able to accept yourself as
Mm.
you are.
And that it's funny. It's
And
like
it's hard.
that's kind of like the whole thing of kind of everything that we've been kind of talking about throughout the episode, which is like, that's kind of the core root of, manifestation of like, self-development, of being more abundant, being less scarcity, it's kind of just accepting what is and just kind of like, allow the energies to feed through each other and, be just more like optimistic, positive, without
Yeah.
kind of going, oh, things need to change. It's like you are more optimistic and more positive by going, oh, this bad thing's happening right now. That's okay. Something good's right around the corner, and
Yeah.
then you're bringing abundance to you.
Yeah, and I think
It's
it's
funny.
like I think it's sorry, I think
No,
it's
no,
funny.
sorry.
It's like we forget it's like you can also be kind to yourself. It's not always about when if someone comes to you and they're upset and they have a problem, you can literally respond the same way to yourself. And that can
Yeah.
feel super weird at first, but then trying to be and I love like the whole thing when people talk about how you've got like your younger self, your higher self, and then trying to like mentally tap into that, I think helps you help your like current self.
Mm.
Yes. You're in I don't know who said it, but it's like every adult is their inner 8-year-old. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's so true. So if you see an adult having a tantrum or is upset, it's like, okay, well, that's their inner child coming out. So
Yeah.
what does that little 8-year-old need?
Mm.
Do they
Yeah.
need do they need to be told like it's going to work out? I absolutely love that. Like it's so true. Why don't we speak to ourselves as kindly as we do to our friends? Like we are so harsh on ourselves,
Yeah.
and that's partly the fear and the scarcity mindset. Like you must be successful and you must do this. Mind you, again, success is different to everyone else, but yeah, we're so tough.
Hmm.
We need to be like more nurturing to ourselves. And yeah, Chat GPT literally at one point goes, "Have you thought about being kinder to yourself?" I was like, "Oh
Oh, there's
no."
the reminder.
And there's the reminder. Thank you. Thank you again for giving me the permission that I should be giving myself to just be like, hey, it's okay. Like you've had a tough day, whatever. Tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah. And like realizing that I think it's such a like massive thing when you start to realize that your thoughts are important. Like it's important to be
Thoughts
paying
manifest
attention.
your reality.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like
Yes.
and then it's even like that whole thing of like, yeah, your thoughts can't necessarily instantly change something, but they can for your whole it changes your perception. So then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? It's like I could look at myself and go, I look terrible today. So then I'm gonna feel terrible today. But if I choose to no, I look great today. My perception is I look great today, and that's like my ends up being my reality for the day.
Yeah,
I love it.
that.
Mel Robbins talks about that quite a bit, and even mirror work, just to like
Yeah,
look at yourself. And
yeah,
it is awkward. I don't know if you've ever done it, to stare at
I
yourself in the mirror
have.
and isn't it like, and it's like, oh my God. And you look at someone like, oh my God, but I think you're so pretty. Like, you look gorgeous. And it's like, you might be so tough, got a pimple here and this and that. It's like, no, no,
Yeah,
you're good. You're brave. You're strong.
yeah,
It's so
yeah.
awkward, but holy guacamole, does it change your life?
Yeah, yeah. I was watching a video about that like a month ago. I didn't realize it was like an actual thing with how like you're connecting with yourself. It's fine. It's like when you make eye contact with someone and you feel more
Yeah.
connected with them, you're
Mm.
kind of
You
doing
can
that with
see their
yourself.
soul.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very fascinating. Like I have like this little handheld mirror that when I'm doing my skincare, I like do it, and it's like that's when I started, like, because I had heard about it and I like tried it out, and it's weird at first, but then you kind of get used to it, and it's kind of nice. And
Mm.
he was just looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm just sitting
You
there with
should
the
try
mirror.
it.
You should try it. It's
Yeah.
it's really
No,
interesting.
I agree. I agree with it. It's like the whole like I think the best thing I've ever heard in my life is like, and it's funny, you said about Jay Shetty before, well, a while ago, but he said such a tongue twister. I always like mess it up when I try and repeat it. But he was like, to really like help you in life is like understanding that you need to shift your perspective, because if you really think super hard about, any difficult situation, any, when you're getting the fear, the rejection, the self-sabotaging, it all is stemming from your perspective being the perspective of someone else's perspective. I think
Ooh.
that, yeah. So it's
Like
like
you
I guess if like it didn't
Yeah.
make sense for anyone listening, it's kind of like me going, oh well, my perspective right now is what I
I think
think
about
of
you.
you, what I think you think of
Of
me.
you.
So
Yeah.
it's like fake, because it's
Yeah.
not even what that person
Yeah.
thinks, it's just
It's
what I
so
think they think.
funny. That's
And then
it's
I'm wearing, I'm living a fake reality, and then
yeah.
that's why it's like, yeah, your thoughts then do really create the reality you live, and that's why we can,
It's such like
manifest.
it's so fascinating. And I don't remember when I heard
I
that.
told it to you.
Oh, did you tell me? And then I was like, wow, I do that, and I've done it my whole life. Is someone would act a certain way to like towards me, and I would assume that they thought this, and then over time, I internalized it and didn't even realize that's how I started feeling about myself. It's crazy.
it's so well, like you said, you assumed. Like we
Yeah.
assume someone else's like perspective of life. We assume what they think about us, and now we take that on as our personality, our self-identity. But it's not. You're right. Like we've all done that. I think we internalize something. It's like that old, the teacher says like the kid is not smart, and so the kid grows up thinking they're not
Yeah.
smart. But in fact, they had, that teacher was going through their own thing, their own
Yeah.
perspective, whatever, and they just put that, on the child, and then
Yeah.
they grow up thinking a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's not true.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Oh my God, Jay Shetty, love him.
Yeah.
That is such an unreal quote. But like even just mind opening, just even having a conversation with you about it, it's like, wow, okay, that's something else to ponder over.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's so hard, but it's like it's funny. It's just like thinking, I like forget about it sometimes, but it's like it's this talking to you and talking about what we've talking about, and that it's like really kind of like re-solidified that as like a foundation of like things that we kind of unfortunately do and deal with, and that can be affecting, being more abundant, being more kind to ourselves and stuff like that. So it's a good reminder to kind of like think about.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, and it's a good reminder to know that we can always change. I think
Yeah.
that is like the most important thing is this current reality, or if you're not happy with something, you don't have to be in that position.
Yeah.
Like you can change, and it might be hard and it might be ugly, and but you're not stuck. I think
Mm-hmm.
we all get in that little rut, and it's a
Yeah.
nice reminder to know whatever way works for you, whatever avenue, chat GPT or whatever else, you can change.
Yeah.
It's the power. We all have the power.
We
Yeah.
have the power. We're the creators of our reality.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just dropped like major gems at the end there. We just like squeezed like a whole nother podcast into like 15 minutes.
Oh, I'm so
I love that.
glad.
That's what it's about. Well, I just want to say like thank you so much for like jumping on, and you're amazing. You brought the energy, you brought the high frequency. We really appreciate you, taking your time and sharing everything that you did, and hopefully, really resonates. So at the end of the day, it
Yeah.
resonated with us. So at least like, you've definitely touched one person with the things that you've
Well,
said. Or
two.
two.
Like no, make it three because I feel like like the same, not to copy your wording or anything, but truly, thank you so much, and thank you again for creating a safe space for us.
You.
Thank you guys.
Have a
Thank you
good
for so.
night.
Bye.
You